Hello, First Mates. Volatility is back in the market. The S&P is down 3.68%. The NASDAQ 100 is down 5.91%. It appears the market is spooked by the Trump tariffs, and this is all I'm hearing about: tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. So in today's video, I'm gonna let you know what I'm telling clients and what I believe you should be doing in regards to these wild economic times. I'm David Warshaw, certified financial planner at The Wealth Plan LLC. Let's get to it. So like anything in life, there's pros and cons. And with tariffs, there are pros and cons to Trump's proposed tariffs. Now, I'm not an expert in tariffs. You could read on the screen the pros, you could see the cons. It's definitely a complicated issue. Compounding the fact that an average trade deal could be hundreds or thousands of pages, this is not a simple matter. So I'm gonna defer to the experts on each specific tariff and each specific trade deal. The tariffs could be good for the economy and the stock market at large. The tariffs could be bad for the economy and the stock market at large. We will see. So I'm going to stay in my own lane. What I can say is that markets are extremely complicated. They're complex, multivariate, and multifactorial systems. And the market is influenced by many different factors. Ultimately, just in the US alone, there are hundreds of millions of participants. And the market represents the collective wisdom of those participants. And people are extremely irrational. They get scared very, very easily. So let us hearken back to our original investment philosophy. We don't time the markets. We are buy and hold investors driven by our financial plan. Our portfolio serves the plan, which is a reflection of our objectives. The worst thing an investor can say is, "This time is different." Instead, your motto, your siren song should be, "This too shall pass." Now, we know the market drops 10% on average once every 2 years, and it drops 20% on average once every 4 to 7 years. These drops are baked into the fabric of investing into the stock and bond markets. Remember, there's always a macroeconomic event. There is always something to be scared of. There's always a crisis. There's always a scary economic event. And this is just one of many, many that we've seen throughout time. So I love this slide. Turn off the news. The experts, not so expert. They have worse odds than a simple coin flip. And waiting for the right time to invest can leave you behind. You want to get your money invested and not time markets. So it's totally okay to be concerned, to be worried. But in the end, it doesn't matter. At least historically, you could invest in the worst possible times and you see that no matter what event, your money is growing in the realm of 7 to 11% a year. The tariffs are not just an economic issue. It's a political one, which is why you never ever want to mix your personal politics into your portfolio. Keep them separate. Now, it's very hard to do because, let's face it, we've become so polarized, so tribal, so remiss to see the perspective of others with whom we disagree with. So base strictly off the research. Here's why your politics and your portfolios should never ever mix. Dimensional has done some fantastic research here, and over time, no matter which president you elected, the markets just went higher and higher. So if you didn't like Barack Obama, well, the markets went up. If you didn't like Donald Trump, the markets went up. If you didn't like Joe Biden, the markets went up. In the end, the great companies of the world will continue to be great and will grow. No guarantee, but that's what the last 100 years of market data has shown us. And it's the same thing with the control of US Congress. Stocks go higher irrespective of who's in control. So if we want to be technical and see where the market does the best, it's actually a Democratic president with a Republican-controlled Congress. Coming in slightly second is a Republican president with a split Congress. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't do anything. We should, in fact, do something since there's no facts about the future. So here is my 5-step action plan. One, we want to play defense. You should consider having at least 6 months of your living expenses in cash, checking, savings accounts. And if you need the money in the next 5 years, you probably shouldn't invest. So if you're a retiree or nearing retirement, I'm a big fan of having 5 years of your anticipated retirement income in a very conservative portfolio. Bonds, CDs, money markets, something very, very conservative. Now, if you're an accumulator, it comes down to what odds you're comfortable playing. This slide shows you how the longer you stay invested, the greater your likelihood of positive returns. So if your time frame is a year before you need the money, there's a 75% chance you should have grown your wealth by investing. 5-year time frame, 88.5%. So the odds are in your favor, but anything can happen, right? There is a chance you could lose money when you need it. So it really comes down to your situation and what you're using the money for. The second thing we do is we diversify our investment portfolios. This protects us because we know that every year some investments will do well and some won't. This is a slide showing publicly traded asset classes, and you see every year there's winners and losers. And if you follow this channel, you know I'm a big fan of alternative investments, which give you completely different uncorrelated exposures. And just like we saw in public markets, the alternative asset classes also have winners and losers in every single year. The third tip is it's now time to play offense, to invest our money. You have that cash reserve established, right? You're okay. So we have to get those extra dollars invested in something pending on your situation. Get your money working for you. Let the miracle of compound exponential growth work for you. The fourth strategy is to leave your investments alone. I went over that you should not time the markets earlier, but you should hold your portfolio. Never, ever, ever get scared out of them. That is so, so important because once you sell, you turn those paper losses into real losses. Then you're going to be left with the conundrum of when do you get back into the market? And that is very, very challenging. You don't want to be sitting on the sidelines for too long. And the fifth investment strategy is to be investing your money on these dips when the market is down. Now there's two strategies, there's two approaches for how you can invest your money. One is a lump sum. You just deposit money into your account and invest it. And the second is dollar cost averaging. Now, dollar cost averaging, or DCA for short, is basically an investment strategy where you invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, regardless of market conditions. Now, historically, lump sum investing outperforms dollar cost averaging 75% of the time. And a bonus tip is just, hey, for every 10% the market drops, let that serve as a strong buy signal to buy the best companies the world has ever seen on sale. So instead of panicking, you go bargain shopping. Now, I'm not convinced this will change your lifetime total returns, but it instills good behavioral discipline for you to follow on your investment journey. Ultimately, the markets historically have grown at 10%. But it's a bumpy road. You're currently witnessing why it's a bumpy road. So hang in there, turn off the noise. This too shall pass. And lastly, remember the words of the legendary investor Warren Buffett. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Well, there you have it, folks. My thoughts on tariffs, politics, markets, and a solid 5-piece action plan to guide you on this wondrous investment journey. And be sure to check out my investment philosophy video as well. Take care. Bye-bye.